channel. My name is Chrissie. Welcome back to the Purple Library. Today I want to share my reading goals for 2025. There's a bit of a twist, but first let's recap what happened last year. I want to share an overview of how my reading went, and honestly I really was on the fence about doing this video or like breaking it up into two, because you know, yesterday is gone and today we are here, and the Lord's loving kindness and mercy is here as well. And also your girl really was just like, that's another video from but I was like, you know what, it's good to kind of have a gentle recap briefly. One of the things that changed drastically pretty much at the halfway point of 2024 was I really dived into my Christian science fiction fantasy bag. Definitely convey early on when I started the channel was not much Christian science fiction fantasy books out there, but that has changed drastically. Doing the library tour, I realized that I had a lot more options and that there have been so many great authors that I have experienced. The second half of 2024 was like fantasy heavy and I loved every minute of it. But overall, it was just a really great year. I read a lot of things outside of my comfort zone, kind of touched in on some genres that I have decided that I really enjoy reading. So I've kind of consumed them into my regular reading cadence here. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notebook, which y'all know we've been here together. You know what I'm looking at. I'm prepared. I'm gonna have my notes straight. If I wrote it down right, they're gonna be straight, but you know. One of the reading goals was to read 72 books. I read 110. Another goal was to read 85% of the books that I wanted to read needed to be from my physical TBR. 87%, and so that was 96 books were from my physical TBR. So that is great. Even though most of them were new releases, they weren't the books that had been up here the longest. I digress. That's not even the point of the goal. But honey, I accomplished that goal. So it's finished 10 ongoing series. And so Honest June, Hob, in the selection series, so many great series that I read as well. Of course, you know, Hob is at the top. I finished The Realm of the Elderlings in 2024, and it was a wonderful reading accomplishment. And I'm still not okay. I still have not unpacked that. There's so much luggage in here, so much Hob dissertation to come. Don't you fret, Padawans. Don't you fret. Your Hob sponsor gonna be here for you. I wanted to update and maintain my reading tracker, which I did. More to come on that. And I wanted to read more classics, and most of them was Daphne du Maurier. Okay, had a little Bronte sister in there too. So I consider those classics, and I really enjoyed reading those as well. Overall, I really felt quite accomplished, and more so than I expected going into 2024. Now for some reading stats, because the nerdy nerd needs the stats. 34 buddy reads. Your girl likes the buddy read. I will say though, this year I'm definitely scaling the buddy reads back, aside from readathons and things that I'm participating with other booktubers. Star ratings, I read 46 5-star books, 42 4-star books, 19 3-star books, 6 2-star books, no 1-star books, and honey, I had 7 DNFs. So if I DNF'd, I try to DNF more because I really don't want to give a book a 1 or 2 star and mess the author's ratings up, you know, especially if I know it's not for me. But sometimes some books, you just got to go all the way. You just got to find out. My top 3 most read genres were, surprise, fantasy, Christian fantasy, and science fiction. Surprise, 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 surprise. I don't even know why I put that down as a finding, because if you know me, you know fantasy and science fiction is my bag. Highest reading month was August. I read 16 books in August, and now that I think about it, I honestly don't remember what was going on in August. I was just enjoying my summer quiet reading, honey. I think I was just going full in on all of the Christian fantasy. I was just eating it up. My lowest reading month was January, which is no surprise. At the time of this filming, I've only read like 5 books. It's January 30. Oh, honey, it's February. Okay, what was I saying? I only read 5 books last month. And that's usually on par actually for January. And I usually read more rereads in January, but I didn't do that this year either. A few things have shifted for me, and it's okay. I had 15 library loans last year, which was almost half from 2023. I think in 2023 I had like 30 something library loans. And I really wanted to focus more on my physical shelf because, you know, the library books, what you get from the library, honey, you ain't reading what you got in here. This is the main goal. Total pages read was 25,851 pages, which actually went down from last year. I think last year was like 33,000 or something like that. But I read a lot of Hob last year. I read a lot of, and total hours listened was 609 hours. And so overall, you know, that went down from 2023 as well. So my reading kind of shifted. I can see a bit of a trend in what I'm actually enjoying versus what, you know, majority of other people are reading. And I think in 2023, I think I was definitely reading more of the more hype books and things like that, versus in 2024, I really dived into the things that I really enjoyed, which you could tell. So 2025, what's different? Me. I have definitely grown in my reading. I have sensed that I want to get back to the basics. And so for that reason, I'm not setting a number of books to read goal this year. I don't know if I will do that moving forward because I'm finding that that's not as fulfilling, you know, because I know I'll read books. I know I will enjoy majority of the books that I will read, but I'm learning like it's not really about the number of books read. It's about the quality of books that I'm reading, what I'm learning, what I am experiencing, what I glean from the wisdom of other people's experiences and healing from my own experiences as the Lord leads me in those different areas. And so I'm just getting back to my basics, girl. It's so refreshing to get back down to the basics and not make no apologies for it. For me, the main goal is no traditional reading goals. No traditional trendy reading goal. I just want to enjoy the reading experience and enjoying this beautiful medium that the Lord has given to us. The main one being his word, creativity to express his faith, his joy, and to give us stories that will help strengthen us. I am just really looking forward to refocusing and getting back down to the basics, to the foundations, to things that really matter and that will last. Free. I feel that, you know, I don't have to be confined to, you know, what the world says I'm supposed to do or even what, you know, I see others doing. I know that it's good for me to get back down to the foundation. So if you're where I'm at, just go on with that and go wherever the Lord's Spirit is leading you. You know, go for it. Take that step of faith. Go and do that. Read that book. Go to that store. Minister to that person. Whatever it is, it's for the kingdom of God, and let that thing ripple through the kingdom. Let it ripple, honey. Let it ripple through the kingdom. So, but I do have some things that I want to do this year in my reading. One of them is to read Linda Greenlaw. Linda Greenlaw is one of my husband's favorite authors. I think his favorite author of all time. And he really is pretty excited that I'm going to be reading some Linda Greenlaw. I talked about that in my 2025 TBR video. So I will link that down in the description so you can see most of these goals align with my TBR for this year. It needs to coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Read Jamie Jo Wright. Now, your girl's got a lot of Jamie Jo Wright. Okay, I think I've read about 3 or 4 of her books, maybe 3. I find her books are just have that je ne sais quoi. They have a special something to them that I just really enjoy. The faith, the intensity, the romance. Finish 10 series. And so I still want to finish 10 series because I love series. I love trilogies, duologies, sagas, lineages. I love it all. Take me on the journey. Let's all go together. I'm just going to continue to read the series and see which ones that I can finish. 10 seems to be a really good number for me. At the end of the day, it's all about the journey anyway, but I would like to finish some series because I got quite a few ongoing. So that's a very serious goal, truth be told. Read more indie Christian fantasy and science fiction. This is the season and the time. There are so many amazing self-published Christian fantasy sci-fi authors that I have recently found, and I find more every day. And so I definitely want to read those books, share them with you guys, especially if you have reading tastes that align with mine, or you're trying to, you know, figure out if science fiction fantasy is your bag. But I definitely definitely want to share more of those types of stories because they need to be heard. There is a huge genre out there, you know, as well for Christian fantasy and science fiction. So I'm going to be working through that and sharing what I can throughout this year. Read more middle grade, not just for middle grade March, but kind of sprinkle it out more throughout the year. Really enjoyed middle grade. Little Chrissie loves, you know, revisiting some of her favorites as well. One comes to mind, Tuck Everlasting. I definitely want to read that this year. I love that story. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. You know, as healing comes, memories of books I loved return to my heart and I want to read them. And it's so surprising because like, oh my God, I did love this book. We thank the Lord for healing, right? I want to read more poetry as well. I have quite a few books of poetry and you know, they real quick to get through. So that's good. That's good. Let me move. And I love poetry. I write poetry myself. I love reading it. I love experiencing the different cadences and different styles of poetry as well. I used to read so much poetry, kind of gotten away from that. So again, going back to the basic. And last but not least is to have fun. Have fun reading, have fun being a part of the community, and that is the main goal for this year for the channel. I definitely want to have fun and enjoy what I'm reading, and even if I get a dud here or there, because if it fall, it fall. For some channel goals, 2024 was amazing, and I just want to thank all of you for your support, watching the videos, commenting. I reached 1,000 subscribers in 2024, which was a huge accomplishment. I didn't even see that coming. I had no expectation when starting the channel in 2021 of any of this. The Lord has been incredibly, incredibly faithful. And I just want to thank all of you for opening up your homes and your hearts to me. And I just pray the Lord bless you for partnering with me, for being here, for being a part of the community. It's been an amazing journey. I really want to continue in that sentiment. One of the things that I want to continue to do is show up weekly. And that's going to be very fluid as the Lord leads, right? So showing up via reading sprints, a video, a vlog. Chrissy will be here as the Lord permits. Definitely want to increase community engagement. There'll be more reading sprints, different types of live streams that are happening, different types of interviews and things like that. I am really looking forward to seeing where that goes. I have no idea the details of these things. So y'all, I'm just out here in faith, okay? We're gonna find out together what's all gonna happen. More reading sprints are happening. Definitely want to do at least 1 to 2 reading sprints a month, if not more. Reading sprints are linked in the description down below. So if you've missed some or you want to go back and replay them, it's always a good time. They usually happen on the weekends, Fridays or Saturdays. It's usually about the time I will do reading sprints. Definitely engaging more, guest hosting on my BookTube friends channels as well. It's just going to be an exciting time, and I thank the Lord. More tag videos. Definitely want to go through and start doing those kinds of videos. Book tag videos are so much fun for me, and I would really like to do more of them. Tag that you want me to participate in, you think it would be fun, you want to hear my answers, leave it in the comments down below. I definitely want to check it out because I'm making my list, checking it twice. I did my own tag video last year, which was super exciting. It's called the Unicorn Book Tag. So if you're looking for a book tag that you haven't done, you can go check out the Unicorn Book Tag. It'll be linked in the description below as well. That's my recap and my goals 2025 reading year. I'm so grateful for this community, and I thank all of you for being here. By the time you see this, it'll be close to Valentine's Day, but I want you to know, above all else, Lord loves you, that he sent his son here to take your penalty from sin. His great love is ever extended towards you. Life can be very challenging, and it's hard sometimes to remember the goodness of the Lord, to remember that you are his child. But I want to remind you today that your life is secure, that the Lord has great intention and plan for you. So take one step of faith. Even if it's just in the next moment, take that step of faith and watch the Lord do everything else. He loves you and I love you. May the Lord bless and keep you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.